my name is Jeffrey Earnhardt, and kind of grew up around a very big racing family.
This is a special edition of Contec's Heroes for Zero podcast series. Today is Monday, May 25th. I'm Matt Shearing, Chief Marketing Officer for Contec. In the United States, from coast to coast, people are commemorating Memorial Day, a time when we honor fallen heroes who served our nation in the armed services. In recent months, many have referred to the current pandemic as a war of sorts. This is not to trivialize the sacrifice of thousands of servicemen and women who gave their lives for our country, but to recognize that there is indeed a battle raging against an unseeable enemy in our midst. The fight against COVID-19 has taken nearly 100,000 lives since March of this year, and there are heroes taking up arms against it in the form of doctors, nurses, retail and service workers, long haulers, teachers, and countless other essential employees who are actively engaged in a new form of combat to protect millions more of us from this deadly pathogen. Today, Contec honors these brave souls with a special message on the Heroes for Zero car at Charlotte Motor Speedway, driven by fourth-generation NASCAR driver Jeffrey Earnhardt. We recently had a chance to catch up with Jeffrey, and we asked him what Heroes for Zero means to him in the midst of these challenging times.
So talking with Jeffrey Earnhardt, he's driver of the number 0 Chevrolet for JD Motorsports, and for a couple of races this year, it's going to be with the Contec colors on it. But first, Jeffrey, as kind of an introduction of who you are and what's your background in racing, kind of how have you gotten where you are today? If someone walks up to you and they don't know anything about you, how do you introduce who you are and what you do to them?
First off, my name is Jeffrey Earnhardt, and kind of grew up around a very big racing family. Grandfather being Dale Earnhardt Sr., uncle being Dale Earnhardt Jr., and my dad being Kerry Earnhardt. Great-grandfather being Ralph Earnhardt, who really started it all. But, obviously the Earnhardt name is something pretty well known in the racing industry or automotive world, and probably quite a bit beyond that as well. But, growing up as a kid, always being around racing, it was quite the different lifestyle. You kind of lived a different lifestyle than most kids, always traveling. When my dad was racing, growing up with, Dale Earnhardt Sr. as your grandfather was pretty awesome. Instead of, Batman or Superman as, my heroes, I had my grandpa as my hero, and it was pretty cool to have that. But it was pretty neat. It's pretty cool to grow up in the family and be around racing, and then try and continue that legacy as best as I can, and keep the Earnhardt name alive in NASCAR.
So talking about this year you'll be driving for JD Motorsports. You have a little bit of an interesting challenge in that this year, this weekend will be your first race at Darlington. You did a couple of laps, I believe, in practice at Daytona, but you really haven't done a lot of laps with them. What's it going to be like, first race for JD this year, no practice, going into turn 1 at Darlington?
It's gonna be exciting, very exciting. Being back at JD Motorsports is awesome. I got the opportunity to compete and race for Johnny back in 2014. So, know quite a few of the guys at the shop, but not all of them. There's definitely some new faces between those years. But it is nice to come back to somewhere where I've raced before, and got such a great relationship with Johnny, Gary Keller, Tony Pescara, all the guys at the shop. I've known those guys for a long time, and was very thankful for that opportunity they gave me then, and then now to get this opportunity to go and compete with them again this year is even more exciting. It just shows what kind of people they are to give me this opportunity, because I wasn't really sure where my racing career was going to going to land a few months back. But really excited about this opportunity. Obviously, with everything that's going on right now and the way the racing procedures are going to go here for the next few races anyway, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge. Not getting any practice, not qualifying, just kind of showing up and racing, kind of run what you brung thing going on here. But it's going to be exciting. I love Darlington. I love racing these Xfinity cars. They're awesome and fun to drive. But like anything else, whenever it's not all just right, it's not quite as fun. So you're going to be excited to get back at the racetrack and racing. But there's also going to be some challenges that we're going to have that we're going to have to overcome. And I know we're capable of doing it. We just have to plan ahead and be as prepared as we possibly can. Going into Darlington, like I said, not having any practice, we're going basically off notes that we had from last year, and kind of going off setup notes and stuff like that. Hopefully, you unload the truck and you're pretty close. But if you're not, you got to try and get it right as quick as you can, as best as you can. Pretty early on in the race before you spend too much time fighting the hand in a race car. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but that's why we love doing this. We love the challenges, and as a competitor, you want to overachieve and do better than what your main goal is. You want to try and exceed that. And I think we'll be capable of doing it. I've been spending quite a bit of time at the shop and talking with the guys and just figuring out, how we can plan ahead and be ready for, that first pit stop if we got to make a big change and get the car handling better. So, they've got great ideas. I've kind of given my input on what I think, are some good ideas to work towards. And, I think we're going to be all right come race time. It's just going to be a matter of being smart. We're all going to be getting back behind the wheel of a race car after a long time off. So us as race car drivers, we're going to be wide open, ready to go. And, you gotta plan for that and know that everyone's going to be a little rusty, but wanting to put it all on the line from the word go, and you just got to be smart and make sure you're there at the end of the race.
And for those folks who are listening who aren't knowledgeable about how a normal NASCAR weekend works, there's usually 2 practice sessions. Those can be 30 minutes or an hour long. There's also qualifying, so you typically have a lot of opportunities to take laps in a car. So that's going to make these next couple of races coming up very exciting, at least from the viewer. I hope it's exciting for you as the racer. But yeah, moving on from Darlington, the following week, the plan is for the Xfinity Series to be in Charlotte, which is just in our backyard. Contec is headquartered in Spartanburg, South Carolina, just about an hour away from the racetrack there in Charlotte. And so for that race, that will actually be our first time being on the car in 2020. We were supposed to be on the car in Texas early March, and then that race was postponed due to COVID. And so in that race, Jeffrey, the hood is actually going to have a special message. Instead of the typical logo that's there, it's going to say, "Thank you, Frontline Heroes." And as Matt kind of talked through in our introduction here, Contec is all about heroes. In the industries that we serve, we help hospitals and pharmacies and pharmaceutical clean rooms and these people who are trying to do incredible things right now to save lives and take good care of the people who manufacture these medicines and drugs that people need. And so for this race, we wanted to say thank you to the heroes who are there. Thank you to all of our partners and customers. And also thank you to our own team members who are working hard to, keep things going and produce these products. But Jeffrey, I wanted to ask you a little bit about heroes. And, you talked about some of the heroes in your life. Is there anything that you'd like to say to these frontline healthcare workers who, we're riding along with?
Yes, sir. No, I mean, to be able to run that on the hood of our car, speaks volumes, and, just, what kind of people, everyone at Contec is. And Contec is just as big of a help in this crisis we're in as anything out there. And you got all the nurses that are out there, putting their they're putting their lives on the line really to see and take care of all these people that have gotten the sickness, and to see the people that are just willing to do what they're doing and helping people is incredible, and just speaks volumes for the kind of people that they are, and what they're about in life, and that's about helping others. And to see that kind of a response, and what all the healthcare workers have done to be people in need, or be there for the people in need, is incredible. And to be able to go out and kind of designate that hood as a message to say thank you to them is incredible and awesome to get the opportunity to do. And they need as much support as they can get, and just to let them know that we're thankful for what they've done and continue to do to keep us as safe as we possibly can, and take care of the people that need to be taken care of. So now we're going to do our part and try and make sure that we get that car up front all day long next weekend at Charlotte, and really represent them well, and represent Contec well, and show our support for the men and women and all the people out there, and everyone from Contec, and everyone out there that's doing what they can to make this as smooth and easy and safe as they possibly can.
Well, Jeffrey, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us and share a little bit about your story with us. For those who are listening, you can catch the Contec car on track at Charlotte on Monday, May 25th at 7:30 p.m., and that will be aired on Fox Sports 1. Also, pay attention during the broadcast. We're also going to be playing a commercial that will air during the broadcast that talks about how we're hiring to help support the growing need that these frontline workers have. Contec has over 60 job openings that are currently open, and you can find the link to that on our website, www.contecinc.com. And so, when you see that commercial, share it with your friends. It'll be on our YouTube page as well. But thank you, Jeffrey, for taking the time with us today, and good luck at Darlington and then on to Charlotte.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it. And again, I appreciate everything y'all are doing, and keeping everyone safe. And hopefully we'll go and put some work in at the racetrack, and bring the cars home up front, and all will be right in the world before we know it.
This concludes our special podcast. We thank you for listening and wish you and your families a peaceful Memorial Day holiday. Wherever you and your loved ones may be, please stay safe and healthy. You can find the entire catalog of Heroes for Zero podcasts on most streaming services. Thank you, and God bless.